Part 254. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2531. Speaking of CAO, this CAO is here. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, walked over helplessly. He could have predicted that something would happen here, so he paid extra attention, and finally found out that it was so. This makes it impossible to talk properly. Speaking is like lighting up a firecracker. This wave after wave really makes people feel scalp numb. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, thought in his heart. His head was buzzing. What the hell is going on? Are you two arguing again? If it doesn't work, why don't you just quit this head teacher? I'll just replace you here. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, was talking and then said with a dark face. This has nothing to do with me. I'm all for our first year seed class. It's also for the exchange competition half a year later. I'm doing this for the overall situation. It's a pity that some people can't see the big picture. For my own self-interest, that's all. Pity. Uncle G took the lead in pretending to be good. As he was talking, he immediately said with emotion from the sidelines. As he was speaking at the moment, the helpless look on his face grew more and more. This time the thoughts gathered, and the feelings couldn't help but become more. That's what I thought in my heart anyway. Deputy Palace Master. You came at the right time. You really need to punish this great uncle. He is arbitrary and nepotism. Shameless. Because Fang Fan is his disciple, the 6 first-year students recommended by Fang Fan who have not been pre-selected will be directly recruited to become official students of the first-year seed class. Is this fair to other students? I think this effect is very bad. Bright Academy is not a place that pays attention to privileges. So this phenomenon of trying to gain privileges must be strictly stopped. Only in this way can fairness and justice be demonstrated. Our fairness and justice are definitely not just words. Substantial actions must be taken. Just let the action be fake. Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, held her head high and her chest high. She seemed excited. In any case, this gesture is shown. What others say is useless. The key is that the current attitude can explain a wave of problems. The situation is expanding ahead. Is there such a thing? Fang Fan? Grand Uncle G? Are you all the ones doing this? Are you all so beautiful now? Fang Fan. How did I find out that wherever accidents happen, you are there? And Grand Uncle G? You are Fang Fan's mentor, and instead of supervising and stopping his behavior, you are still messing around with him. Is there anything you do? Shui Wanren, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, was speaking and then followed up with a full-fledged complaint. This looks like being pissed off. When speaking, the posture of gnashing teeth is vividly displayed. Needless to say, this attitude is already very obvious anyway. Grand Uncle G opened his mouth, and when he was about to say something, Fang Fan directly preempted him. Father-in-law. Don't get involved. Vice Palace Master, although the 6 people I recommended were my guards before, they have all been promoted to the mid-level 4-star sanctuary realm. Their opponents. Well, that's the thing. Fang Fan knows this Deputy Palace Master too well. Anyway, he is all about profit. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2532. If there are any loopholes in your operation, that's not a problem. They can all be handled well for you. As long as this matter is beneficial to the school, and will be fine. Hearing what Fang Fan said, Shui Wanren immediately coughed. Cough. Although it does not comply with the regulations, it is excusable after all. Fang Fan and Grand Uncle G are all for the consideration of the whole school after all. If this is the case, it is understandable that the operation is somewhat irregular. Everyone is a member of the academy, and they are all working tirelessly for the glory of the academy. I see all of these, everyone is doing well. You are all doing well. Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy, came up with a wave of soothing tactics first, and then prepared to use a super big move, inciting a wave of honor at every turn. The freshmen who have just entered the mansion are relatively young and have not experienced too many beatings from the outside world, so there is still a passion in their hearts. It is okay to be so instigated by Shui Wanren, the deputy mansion master. Immediately followed by becoming flustered. Even the excited expression on his face is vividly displayed. Not to mention anything else, just this posture is very real. The face of Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, turned dark. Shui Wanren can fool other people with these two strokes, but it is not easy for her. How things should be, then what should be, how can you provoke me with a few words? If it goes on like this, is it still worth it? Wouldn't this great situation be directly collapsed? When the time comes, she smashes her teeth and swallows it in her stomach again. Fu Jing refused to accept. Why? Why has she always tasted the taste of failure in the battle with Fang Fan and Tai Shiji's master and apprentice? How about changing each other? This is really bad. Thinking of this, Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, felt inexplicably wronged. Anyway, nothing is going to happen. There is always the sense of helplessness in my heart. Deputy Palace Master. What do you mean by that? Is it possible to support them? Excuse me. Is this justifiable? Don't you know better than I what the nature of the matter is? This is already against the rules of the school. To put it lightly, it is a violation of the rules of the school, but to put it more emphatically, it is a tendency to treason the government. Students and mentors like this kind of unruly, can you still place trust in them? In this state, they have to be brought under control quickly. Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, gritted her teeth, and then yelled excitedly. Anyway, this is quite exciting to say, and it is such an attitude expressed in various words. Vice President Fu Jing, what you said is serious. This is not a question of nature at all. Those students may have just not received the news of the opening of the seed class. For these capable new students, we should give more support and tolerance. After all, we are the tutors of the school. They are the teachers recognized by them. If it's just this attitude, how can the students calm down? Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, frowned, and then wanted to present the facts and reason. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2533. In fact, it is very simple to look at these issues from the perspective of Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy, that is, those who are capable will go up, and those who are incompetent will go down. Naturally, the resources of this kind of subclass will only cultivate the elites and geniuses in the school, which is fully demonstrated. From the outset, this is very clear, and there are no splits and omissions. Deputy Palace Master. Your ass is too crooked. Surely you don't think so in your heart. Deputy Palace Master. Could it be that because Fang Fan is your son-in-law, so you prefer him? Deputy Palace Master. You were not this kind of person before. Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, took a deep breath, and then said bluntly, it's going to make trouble anyway. If she loses again this time, what will she do in the future? It's actually useless to say 1,000 words and 10,000, but the current situation is very clear. In order for Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, to be able to achieve her wish, it seems a bit far-fetched to talk about it. Anyway, I dare to say anything now. Are there some words that can be said casually at this moment? After saying this, you must be responsible for it and even practice it to the end. Now Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, really looks a bit handsome. He often talks about the relationship between Fang Fan and Shui Wanren, and even admits that Shui Wanren has done all this because of Fang Fan's relationship with Fang Fan. Some things can't be said casually. After I finish speaking, I really need to be responsible for this. This wave after wave, what kind of trouble do you want? Shui Wanren is also the deputy palace master of Guangming Academy. No matter what, is it true that he doesn't want any face? Now this momentum is really a bit of a face. After this wave, it's really a little serious, and if you are a little careless, you will be directly implicated in it. The face of Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, gradually darkened. He didn't care about those jokes before. Everyone talked casually, and there was no awakener. He heard it in his ears, and he just listened to a joke. But now, this seems to be a bit of an overreach. After this wave, what kind of trouble do you want? Vice President Fu Jing. I ask you to be careful. I don't need you to remind me of the special relationship between Fang Fan and me. Not to mention that the relationship between me and Fang Fan has not yet reached that point. Even if the relationship has really reached that point, I will only deal with it fairly. If you feel that I have handled it improperly, you can appeal to the palace master. But at this time, the 6 4-star mid-sanctuary students he recommended before must join the first-year seed class. I hope you can focus on the overall situation and cultivate your own view of the pattern. The last time you were demoted from dean to deputy dean, haven't you learned your lesson? If you don't change your character, the vice president will quit as soon as possible. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, was talking and then said with a cold snort. The matter has come to this point, the anger in this heart has been accumulated, and it almost gushes out directly. That's the thing, can't you explain it clearly? From the perspective of Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy, he thinks he can walk upright and sit upright. He doesn't care about anyone's doubts. Anyway, this is the attitude at the moment. There is no need to say more about other things. This time, it is natural to be able to show the things on the scene to the fullest, that's all. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2534. Deputy Palace Master, I didn't mean that at first. You wronged me. I just said it outright, and I accidentally said the wrong thing. I have never questioned your impartiality. I beg you to do this, and I beg you to believe it. I just think that this matter is still a bit out of order. Deputy Palace Master, I really didn't mean to target you. Fu Jing, Vice President of the Priest Academy, immediately became anxious. Especially seeing Fang Fan's angry appearance this time, the anxiety in his heart naturally increased, and the thoughts in his heart gradually exploded. Fu Jing, Vice President of the Priest Academy, took a deep breath, and immediately apologized. If this apology is late, it may really be over. It might have been a small matter, but if this kind of small matter continues to develop and continue, it will explode one day. After all, the person in front of me is the Deputy Palace Master of Guangming Academy. The Palace Chief doesn't care about things, that is, the Deputy Palace Chief is in charge of the overall situation. If this offends, it's really cool. Snort. That's all for now, you can deal with the rest yourself. Remember the core purpose of creating a seed class. Half a year later, What I need is a group of school war gods with explosive combat power. Shui Wanren, deputy master of Guangming Academy, glanced around, and then said resolutely, his eyes shone with a special kind of brilliance while speaking. What I think about at the moment is the overall development of the school. The exchange competition is related to the distribution of divine soil resources and the future of Guangming Academy, so Shui Wanren is very concerned about it. The key to achieving good results in the exchange competition lies in the cultivation of the seed class. Therefore, the selection of the seed class students is the most important thing. Do you still do these things at this time? Who wants to listen to you do this? At this moment, this posture must be displayed, and other things will not work. After Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy, waved his sleeves and left. But before he left, he had clearly explained his purpose. All in all, things have to be done this way. Vice President Fu Jing, did you hear that? This matter has been settled. I told you a long time ago, you just don't believe it. That's the thing. That's the situation. What do you have to do? So what if the deputy palace master is found? Don't you still want to do it this way? If you want me to say, you are doing too much. Forget it, I won't argue with you. Day by day, you will know the delay. Tai Shuja is purely the type who gets cheap and acts good. While talking at the moment, the arrogant look on his face became more and more. While speaking, the expression on his face changed very quickly. Standing aside, Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, subconsciously wanted to refute, but at this moment, she could only smash her teeth and swallow it in her stomach. The feeling of depression in her heart gradually hit her, which inexplicably made her feel unbearably heartbroken. Lost again. It seems that he hasn't won since the match against Tai Shuja and Fang Fan, the master and apprentice pair. Regardless of whether it is against the master or against the apprentice, anyway, it will end up like this. Thinking of this, Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, inexplicably felt that she had failed too much. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2535. It's all right now, I offended the Deputy Palace Master again, and I don't know how to face it in the future. Thinking of this, Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, felt dizzy. Why was I so cheap at the time, and said such unpleasant things? In fact, I know in my heart that I can't say those words, and those words are not good to hear. But when the time comes, I still can't hold back. Speaking of which, it's all done by myself. Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, gritted her teeth and stood aside in silence. Anyway, it was useless to say anything now. At this moment, the surrounding scenes are very lively, the show just now is even more exciting than watching a play. This wave after wave, inexplicably makes people feel scalp tingling. It's completely in a state of showing off. Galen Vega and other 6 heroes successfully joined the first-year seed class. 81 people have been selected at this moment. There are still 19 students left before the 100 students in the first-grade seed class. 70 to 80 students compete for the remaining 19 places, basically they choose one of the 4 places, and the competition is quite fierce. At this moment, the candidates to be selected are all focusing on Bai Biao, and now they are waiting for Bai Biao to say something. The current situation must be kept safe. It's so damn difficult. Cough. Everyone, please be safe. What happened just now has nothing to do with you. Now continue to select the first-year seed class students. Well, where did you choose just now? Oh, yes, 75 plus 6, that's 81, and there are 19 places left. How can this be fixed? Then which one of you has the ability to beat the enemy across a level and stand up? As long as you pass the test, you can become a first-year seed class student. Taishiji's eyes lit up, and he followed suit. The crowd of more than 70 people waiting to be selected gradually became restless, and then 6 people began to appear in the crowd. Those who can leapfrog and defeat their opponents are not just for nothing. After a simple test, all 6 of them passed the test. Good, very good. The 6 of you have been selected. Now there are 87 people, there are still 13 people. Really, it's too difficult to choose. Anyone who thinks he has a skill can stand up. Taishiji groaned, then continued to ask. My speed is very fast, several times faster than that of practitioners of the same level. Is this considered a skill? Forget it. You're selected. Taishiji waved his hand, and then followed suit. My strength is great, twice that of ordinary cultivators. Okay. You're selected. Teacher Taishu, I can eat. I can eat especially. I eat 10 times as much as a practitioner of the same level. Does this count as a skill? You. What's the use of such an idiot like you? I will analyze the opponent's combat skills. I am familiar with almost all common combat skills, and I can clearly state their weaknesses. Very good. You can enter the seed class. I can sing, my singing voice is beautiful. Get out. Labor and capital don't take this kind of thing. Finally, 10 wizards were selected from them. Anyway, more or less biased. This aspect is also very clear. The things on the scene were immediately exposed. Of course, there is no need to say more about the others, everyone knows everything. Add these 10, 97. It's still 3. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2536. Taishiji opened his mouth, and while talking, he followed suit with complaints. Is it so difficult to gather 100 people? Just can't get this done anytime soon. Uncle G is almost going to be depressed here. It's really too inked. Those who consider themselves beautiful. Stand up. Uncle G suddenly began to let go of himself, and when he said a word, there was a sensation in the audience. What the hell, do you want to be so casual? This is not a beauty pageant. After this wave, how can you behave like this? Everyone opened their mouths, and they all looked a little confused at the moment. Boy Fang Fan, has our master been holding back for too long, so he's starting to get old? How old is this, and there is still a need for this? I was really shocked by this wave. While Bai Piao was talking, he immediately made complaints about it. Among other things, this desire to complain is extremely strong. I didn't expect my uncle's mentor to be so genuine. The corner of Zhuoqiu Yao's mouth twitched, and he was also shocked. Fang Fan. I finally know that you are not such a scumbag. It turns out that I learned this from your master. The upper beam is not straight, the lower beam is crooked. Fang Fan. You can't be led astray. Xiao Liyulai stared at her beautiful eyes solemnly, and then said with a proud face. Fang Fan took a deep breath, looking more or less confused at the moment. The feeling in my heart at this moment is still very strong. The thoughts in my heart gathered, and the facial expressions also became extremely complicated. Although my master is a bit eclectic, it's not to the point where I can't bear the hunger and thirst. It's better not to jump to conclusions. Fang Fan opened his mouth, and then followed up with a wave of excuses. From Fang Fan's point of view, I still think this matter is a bit nonsense. This time, for no reason, I felt my head buzzing and screaming. At this moment, the sound of commotion from below naturally followed, and the scene seemed extremely lively. Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, also seemed a little restless. But this time she seemed to be much more alert. She didn't go too recklessly directly, but a very cautious attitude. "Uncle G, what kind of medicine are you selling in this gourd? If you want to take advantage of this opportunity to do something that you don't have, I will never agree. Don't use me as a display." Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, was speaking, and then her face turned cold, and the gesture of gnashing her teeth was very real. "Where do you all want to go? Is my Uncle G that kind of person? Thinking about the beauties who pursued my great uncle back then, when did I ever think about it? You people should really clear your minds. What are you talking about?" Uncle G was stunned for a moment, and then directly followed and cursed. This almost took him in. But the point is, there is no such thing at all. This wave after wave, I really want to do something. This gesture of doing things is too clear. What I mean is, arrange a few beauties among you students, so that you can fight against each other when you are training. You can feel the feeling of a beautiful opponent standing in front of you in advance. A lot of people praise that bullshit gentleman's demeanor as soon as they are in place, and when they see a beautiful woman standing in front of them, they become soft-legged shrimps. My training method is, not only can't be soft when encountering a beautiful woman, but also become tough, hit me harder. As long as it doesn't kill me, just hum it to death. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2537. There is nothing wrong with the tutor, that Tai Shuji said, it just sounds a bit awkward. What do you mean? As long as you can't kill yourself, you can do it to death. Why does this sound so awkward? Inexplicably feel a little wrong. This feeling became stronger invisibly. Now that I think about it like this, there is really nothing I can do. Okay. Stop talking. Those who think they are beautiful women, stand up quickly. Now there are only 3 places, first come first served. Taishuji waved his hand with a firm expression on his face. Anyway, I just want to carry this matter to the end. Needless to say anything else, this posture is very clear. At this moment, there must be something in the heart. Although I am a little embarrassed to admit that I am a beautiful woman, but there is such a good opportunity to enter the seed class, no one wants to fall behind, so among the remaining 60 or 70 students, as long as they are female students, they all stand up. In the end, a total of 20 people appeared. No matter what you look like, you have to express your attitude first. After all, self-confidence is also a kind of beauty. Bai Piao glanced back and forth, then the corners of his mouth twitched unnaturally. How shameless is this? Damn, what do you think? That face, what does it look like, and what does it have to do with beautiful women? And that one, damn it, the arms are thicker than my thighs, stupid. There is another one, the mouth is crooked, the nose is crooked, the eyebrows are all crooked, how did it grow? What they want is beautiful women, don't they have a clear idea of the concept of beautiful women? Bai Piao's mentality completely collapsed. While talking, he immediately followed up with a comprehensive complaint. Nowadays, the desire to complain is particularly strong. Anyway, whatever is in my heart, I have to say something, otherwise my heart will be too uncomfortable. This has something to do with your hammer. It's not that you choose the students. Who are you looking at again? Fang Fan's eyes scanned Bai Piao's body, then raised his brows. This guy has never been a good thing. Always want to do things. Recently, I seem to be very concerned about finding a woman. I don't know where this guy's tendon is wrong, and he didn't have this problem before. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not. I don't. Bai Piao rolled his eyes, and directly came to refuse 3 times. You think I'm you want to tease someone when you see one. I am a person who attaches great importance to emotional cultivation. Bai Piao also pulled it up, and while talking, the arrogant look on his face became more and more. Anyway, this attitude is gradually becoming more obvious. Emphasis on emotional cultivation. You. Can we tell the truth? How can I not know the little Jeju in your heart? Fang Fan curled his lips, not bothering to expose this guy. Both of you are not good people. You men are big pigs. Xiao Liulai suddenly said bitterly from the side. The little tiger teeth were exposed, and she couldn't help but slap Fang Fan's arm directly. Fang Fan hissed subconsciously, his brow furrowed instantly. What the hell, they are really doing something. I will watch you from now on. Don't let those vixens take advantage of it. Xiao Liulai raised her head and stared at Fang Fan, speaking firmly. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2538. Fang Fan opened his mouth, he really didn't know what to say at the moment. This has to be honest. Sometimes it's really not that he has any flamboyance, but the charm is there is really no way. Charm is a very mysterious thing, and it cannot be explained clearly in a few words. Fang Fan stretched his waist, inexplicably felt that he was really Alexander now. This wave of pressure is on me. From this point of view, it is also very difficult. At this moment on the high platform, Grand Uncle G chose 3 so-called beauties with big buttocks and straight breasts according to his own preferences, and then selected them into the first-year seed class, which was officially 100 people. Fang Fan clicked his tongue in admiration, but he didn't expect this cheap master to be such a man. The point of concern is very clear. The 3 female students who were selected were naturally overjoyed. On the one hand, they were able to join the first-year seed class and get the resources from the school. On the other hand, the feelings in my heart will also become different. I was selected, but I just got the name of a beautiful woman. Isn't it flattering in my heart? Even on the surface, they are modestly saying that they are not beautiful, not considered beautiful. But standing on the street and yelling beauty casually, it is guaranteed that all women will turn their heads subconsciously. It's so natural. But those female students who were not selected naturally began to criticize viciously. Unfair. Shadow. There is a big shady here. Why? Why should they choose them and not me? What's wrong with me? Isn't it because my breasts are a little smaller? But I'm pretty. I'm not convinced either. Beauty competition should be about face. Who doesn't like my wicker waist? The public should judge who is a beautiful woman. You can't let Taisha Tudor stand alone. We want to protest. Swear not to give up. Let us also enter the seed class. We will never let it go. We will fight to the end. You can shut our mouths, but you can't stop our people. Fight, fight, fight. The noisy sounds continued, and the scene became extremely chaotic. After this wave, the rhythm of doing things will only become stronger. Everyone's eyes widened, and they were in a state of explosion at the moment. Now it's time to fight for your own interests to the end. If another person fights like this, it may still have some effect, but these methods seem a bit too childish in front of Tai Shuja. People didn't care about these things at all. These methods are even left over from other people's play. Shut up. My great uncle is doing things, when is it your turn to tell me what to do? Get out. All those who are eliminated, get out. Scream in front of me again, believe it or not, I'll slap you down with a slap. Didn't you give me the nickname Necromancer? Do you want to practice what is the sense of the dead? With a roar of great Uncle G, he directly crushed all dissatisfied. Dare to follow the clamor here, it's really against the sky. Give face. Now it's completely shameless. How can this work? Uncle G directly opened up the formation, and the scene immediately became quiet. At this moment, even a needle can be heard very clearly when it falls. A wave of resistance was directly disintegrated. This is a bunch of rabble. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2539. No matter how many mobs there are, they can't form a climate. Just like in front of you, basically on the verge of collapse. The students who wanted to make a fuss just now shut up, they don't want to seek abuse either. In front of this necromancer, this feeling of panic is extremely real. Good. Very good. Very good. Everyone stop talking. Isn't it good for now? I have to engage in those who have nothing. That's it for now. The first year seed class has been recruited. What, according to the school's regulations, we have to choose a class leader among them. As the squad leader, you can receive 100 hours of training time and 10,000 credits a week from the Tower of Light. Who wants to do it? Stand up by yourself? Let me screen it. Taishaji groaned, then continued to speak. This can be regarded as a wave of small benefits. Fang Fan remained indifferent. The training time of the Tower of Light is precious, but with Shui Wanren, he has been cheating for 3,000 hours, so there is no shortage for the time being. What can you do with 10,000 credits? Exchange for 200 million low-grade star cores? Fang Fan's net worth is hundreds of billions of star cores, so it doesn't seem to be very important to him. These 10,000 credits are not even enough to go to the third floor of the canteen of the school for a meal. If you want to go to the third floor of the school cafeteria to have a full meal of Manchurians, it will cost tens of thousands of credits. Of course, what Fang Fan doesn't care about doesn't mean he really doesn't care. At least the things in this wave of scenes must be fully displayed. Among the 100 formal students in the first year seed class, at least 90 are just about to move. 1 month is 100 hours of training time and 10,000 credits in the Tower of Light. This kind of subclass has to be opened for half a year. Wouldn't it be possible to receive the class leader's benefits 6 times? This wave is so cool. The connotation has arrived. It's really flattering. Damn it, don't rob me. Whoever robs me is in a hurry. Teacher Taishu, I am cautious and bold, I will sign up to be the class monitor. Teacher Taishu. Choose me. I have strong organizational and management skills. Teacher Taishu. Look at me. I am the beautiful student you chose. Teacher Grand Uncle. There were bursts of shouts, and the scene gradually became quite explosive. Grand Uncle G was instantly surrounded by everyone. It's about profit. This monitor is not compulsory. For this benefit, ordinary tutors can't enjoy it. Be quiet. Everyone be quiet. Stop making noise. Can you be a little quieter? Damn it. Stop talking. It's so noisy. The corner of Taishaji's mouth twitched, but he finally felt tired of it. It's too noisy. Boo boo boo, is this going to be endless? Can't you just calm down a little bit? To clarify things a little bit? Do you have to do it as if you want to do it? Is this necessary? Teacher Taishu, it's best to have some restrictions on the selection of monitors. Leadership, affinity, ability to handle affairs, cultivation, combat power, all are indispensable. After all, as the monitor of the seed class, he has to set an example in all aspects. I think Xiuoqi Otaxu and Lu Jiyi are pretty good. After being silent for a long time, Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, spoke again. This opening reveals its true form. Whatever he thinks and does in his heart is fully displayed. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2540. This Zuokyo Taxu and Lu Jiyi are both disciples of Fujing, the vice president of the Priest Academy. This is too real. Speaking of which, Zuokyo Taxu is still an old acquaintance of Fang Fan. Oh. Is that so? A 4-star peak sanctuary, a 4-star high-level sanctuary. Cultivation is not bad. But it's not top-notch. Cultivation is inferior to my apprentice daughter-in-law. In terms of fighting power, it's not as good as my apprentice's daughter-in-law, nor my apprentice. This is not easy. Why don't you let them fight? How about a competition? Whoever wins will be the squad leader. Fang Fan. Come here. Grand Uncle Ji quickly waved to Fang Fan. Anyway, as long as there is any interest, you must think of Fang Fan. Fang Fan smashed his mouth, although he really didn't care about the benefits of being a squad leader, but he didn't want to embarrass his Uncle Ji. After all, this cheap master is also kind. This master is too unfair. I think of you for everything. I am also his disciple. Hey, why do I feel that Fang Fan is the direct line, and we are collateral lines? Little Wajia, Galen, what do you think? Bai Piao looked at the heroes beside him, and it seemed that he still wanted to unite against Fang Fan. But this guy obviously found the wrong person. This guy has no other skills, but this head is really iron. The iron has reached a certain level. The heroes are absolutely 100% loyal to Fang Fan, and there is a hammer to win them over. Following Bai Piao's complaints, several heroes ignored him. Bai Piao talked to himself, but he didn't feel embarrassed at all. Why? People like you have been brainwashed for too long. We must stand up and resist. If you get loot on the battlefield in the future, give it to me, I'll keep it for you, and set up a small treasury for you. Bai Piao looked serious while talking. Good guy, now this is the end of the first iron. The iron-headed baby's world is as simple as that. Fang Fan didn't bother to talk to this guy, then shrugged and went straight to the high platform. At this moment, the noise of the whole audience gradually subsided. Although everyone was still a little bit indignant, after thinking about it carefully, they felt relieved. What is their own level, they still have some ideas in their hearts. Don't go up and get beaten now. With Fang Fan and the two precious disciples of Fujing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, everything they did was in vain. To be precise, it's all set by default. Seeing Fang Fan striding forward, Fujing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, gradually became unsightly. This is a direct slap in the face. If you can bear it all, how will you mess around in the future? Can this still go on? It's clear that he didn't pay attention to her. Thinking of this in my heart at this moment, the expression on my face suddenly became ugly again. Teacher Taishu, there's no need to do this. The two candidates I recommend, Zuokyo Taxu and Lu Jiyi, are not bad. Among them Zuokyo Taxu is the legitimate son of Zuokyo Saint. Fujing, vice president of the Priest Academy, was talking, her eyes became more and more gloomy. All kinds of thoughts gathered in my mind, probably this feeling. Saint Zuokyo. His son. Oh. So you took a fancy to his identity. What is this place? This is the Institute of Light? It's not a first-class temple of the Light Alliance. It's not up to the Zuokyo Saint to intervene in the matter here.